Okay, it's 4 o'clock. This is the regular Transit Commission meeting for City of Merrill. We're in the Merrill Council Chambers. Second order of is public comment. Is there any public comment? No, nobody on the phone. Okay, no public comment. Okay. Next, approval of the minutes of January 2024 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It's passed. Now we're on to the administrator's report. I think you could turn that down. Just hear anybody come on.
Ridership, we had 4,820 riders over 3,612 miles last month. Employee status, there's no change there. So we're still looking for that part-time person. Future agendas and things and packets are, the city is going to a new program. So they're going to be done in that new program, and the reason they're doing that is to make them uniform through all committees and commissions and things like that. And along with that, it is going to automatically email them to everybody.
Sounds good.
And when does that happen, or is it happening?
It should start in March.
Okay.
If it doesn't, I'll let everybody know and you'll get a copy in the mail.
Will it be coming from a new email address then? The notifications
Yeah,
of
it
our
wouldn't come
meeting?
from my email address.
Okay, coming from a different.
It come from a different one. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
all of the email addresses that I have for everybody are current, right? Everybody's getting the ones now?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So does that mean that if we want something on the agenda, or someone wants to have something posted to the agenda, they have to let you know at an earlier date and time?
Well, the agendas and everything has to be posted minimum 24 hours before the meeting.
Correct. I
So as long as it's
understand
before that, I can get it done, and if we have to repost it.
Okay.
that. Okay, so you get this out like the week before?
On the Friday, it'd have to come out.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yep.
So we probably have to let you know on
So
Thursday.
nothing will change, I just.
Yeah, no, nothing,
Okay.
other than it's just gonna be done automatically from that system.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm working with the radio station to set up a time for quarterly things with them.
Oh, good.
Quarterly, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And how's the new full-time driver working out?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, he's
Good to hear.
just fine.
Wonderful.
Any questions for the administrator's report? Entertain a motion to,
I'll make a motion to accept the administrator's report as presented.
I can second it.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None, that's passed. Okay, next on the agenda is the service area. And I know Brad sent out non-current service area time study with the agenda. And I hope everybody had a chance to read it.
Mhm.
Looking at this, I think maybe there's a couple areas that we could even just eliminate, like 3 and 5.
And what was the, what?
Because of the private property on 3?
Hills-
What was
that's-
the reason?
Yes.
Area 3 is Hillside Church.
I'm sure they would give us permission to go in there and turn around if we were to decide to go
Okay,
there.
that's what I was wondering too.
And Rio Grande is just too far.
It's too far out, and the church, you know, that's Sunday services, weekends.
The one request we did have to go there was from an employee that went there during the week
Mm,
for work.
okay.
And that's why I put it in there.
Okay.
Because that's really not very far, is it?
It's not far
No, it's,
No.
No.
at all.
no. It would,
I mean, I
of
get
all
what
of
you're
these, that would be
saying.
the easiest one to add.
Yeah, I don't
And that, is there any other stopping new that would be included with that, or is it just that?
No, because if you're on the corner of, what is it?
Pier.
Taylor and
Taylor
Pier,
and Pier.
Taylor and
you
Pier.
can look up and you can see the flagpole.
Right.
Right.
Right,
You can almost throw a rock and hit it.
that's it, so it's the first one on the right,
Yep.
on the east side, okay.
Yeah, the one that I would agree with,
Okay,
eliminating would be
Number
the Rio Grande Drive.
Yes.
I was on the bus when that was traveled before, and it was, it made us really late. I mean, it was a long drive back in there. And otherwise, I would be in favor of giving a trial period to the other three. Did you want to talk any more about what you had
thought-
sent out?
Does everybody understand what I did?
You can go through it for maybe the audience, though. That would be
Yeah.
probably helpful.
So what I did is I took a bus driver and a bus, and we went out to all of these locations. We left the bus barn at 9:17 in the morning. We went directly to all 5 of these locations, and timed the amount of time and the distance that it took to go from our closest point to that place and back. Okay, so let's just say the Nicholas Drive in Delmore. In that particular case, the furthest we go right now is
Woodland-
Woodland Court.
Woodland Court.
Woodland Court. So from Woodland Court to go out to and go around that circle and up into that cul-de-sac and come back to Woodland Court was
10.5 minutes?
10 and a half minutes.
That's long.
And it's a distance of 1.5 miles. And that distance and that time includes a simulated stop.
3 minutes.
One simulated stop of 3 minutes. And I use the 3 minutes because that would be an average time stop for a wheelchair person or student that's not ready. Because very often we have students that aren't ready for school, they're not waiting for the bus, and it takes longer than 3 minutes just for that student to get out. So just one 3-minute stop took 10 and a half minutes to go out there. So that's how I did it. And then, so that's back to Woodland Court. So it's the closest point that we currently service. And that's how I did them. And those were the times that came up. The Rio Grande, believe it or not, is only, 2 minutes longer.
okay.
The Glen Drive was 8.5 minutes, and the Rockridge Apartments was just over 7 minutes. And Hillside Church, we estimated at 3 minutes or whatever, 4 minutes to run up there and back.
Mhm. But some of these areas that are growing, and there probably will be more of a need or a want
Mm-hmm.
for the service, and that's
Yes.
what we want to.
Mm-hmm. Be prepared
So-
for.
So in any case, the summary of this says that going to these 5 locations, we left the bus barn at 9:17, went to these 5 locations, and back to the bus barn, we returned back to the bus barn at 10:25. So that's already over the hour time that we start on the east side or the west side and go to the east side. We're already over that, and that time does not count any other stops that would normally be in there.
Okay.
So if we were to make every one of these stops
Okay.
and go from Glen Drive out to Walmart, it's gonna take more than the hour with one stop at each of these locations based on the fact that we're already at the closest point. So for example, if we don't have a Glen Drive, say we're gonna go up by Nicholas Drive and Delmore Drive, but the bus is not going out to Woodland Court, so now then you're taking that time all the way from, say, Center Avenue, and adding the time from Center Avenue out to Woodland Court into that time. So if we're not at Woodland Court already, you have to add all the time from our closest point to get there. So that,
How many calls do we have to go to Woodland Court?
we get a few. We have a couple of regular riders.
Okay, so every week we have at least 3 stops there, is what you're saying?
I wouldn't say every week, but,
Okay,
I mean, we have regular riders for hair appointments and just like we have regular riders from Bell Tower.
And we also have a rider who lives on the other side of the road, and she walks
Yep,
up the
and
road.
walks up
and they-
to,
And they have to drive down to,
Oh.
I can't remember where we turned around. I've been on the bus a few.
turn around at Woodland Court and come
Okay,
back
and
and
come
pick up
back.
that rider
Yeah,
Okay,
because their road is a road that we can't service.
yeah.
okay. Lives on one of those off-roads
Yep.
that go off of,
Mhm.
off the main drag?
Yep.
Okay, and so she walks to
She
Center
walks
Road?
to, she walks
out
Okay.
to Center Avenue.
Center
Yeah.
Avenue.
Okay. Hmm.
So when you talk about the stops, are you saying that one stop for the bus, or are you saying that like all 5 stops would be on the same bus? Because they are,
No.
all of these areas wouldn't be on the same bus, right?
They could. Our absolute worst case scenario, all 5 of these places could end up on the same route going from Glen Drive to Walmart. Because if you're going from west to east, Glen Drive would be your far west.
I think during a time of trial, we're gonna have to have some discussion with whoever's asking for the ride. If it's already a totally packed bus, and can you go at a different time? I mean, it could be that there's some times we won't be able to absolutely meet everybody's need.
But there's also 2 other buses that are operating at that time too.
One's going one way and one's going the other, yeah. The third
And then
bus
the third
might,
bus is the,
the tweener,
There's a
yeah.
catch-all.
Yeah.
Yep.
And some of that, I mean, looking at this, some of that can,
Yep.
but depending upon the hour, that third bus is busy certain hours too.
Yeah.
well, maybe,
So,
can we put in a
we can.
stipulation? We will not be able to service these areas from this time to this time.
Well, the one,
but
yeah,
then, I mean,
Well, not
then it goes.
necessarily at all the
At
kids
least-
just want to go shopping.
At least during the
Yeah.
trial, I'm
Correct.
thinking, at least while we're trying it. Because
Mhm.
if we do decide to go, we want to have it equal and fair. But
Yep.
as we're getting our feet.
But again, the areas that you're talking about growing and more people
Right,
are probably gonna have students.
okay.
Well, then maybe what we have to do is have a stop, this is going to be the bus stop. And just, pick them up there.
Oh,
it's possible. I mean, that,
in a part, especially, yeah, that's a thought.
Well, the Rock Ridge,
For a group.
The Rock Ridge-
You guys all be right here.
unless it's,
Yes.
Right.
well, and
Grab you.
that is the case at Rock Ridge because we can't go into those apartments.
Oh,
Just like
okay.
we don't go into
Hmm?
Jackson Street apartments. We don't go into those. They have to come out to the road.
Mhm.
And if you go out to the Rock Ridge apartments, you go in that drive, there's a circle drive. And off of that circle drive goes through the driveway that goes into all of the apartments. So
Okay.
those people would have to come out to that cul-de-sac
Yep.
where that drive comes out.
That's reasonable.
Yes,
Correct.
that is very,
That's,
right now,
And
there's
that's
a,
because those are apartment things.
well, there's also a thing, if people don't show up, then the driver calls the office, and you'll leave after, 3 minutes? Or when the person is released by the dispatcher, if someone isn't there
Yeah,
when
if somebody's
they're
not
supposed
there,
to be
I mean-
there. Yeah,
Depending upon the day, it could be very busy.
yeah.
So
well, we can try and make this work. We
I
have-
think so.
I'm not saying we can't try to make it work. I'm
Correct.
just saying that this is how long it takes. Now, I just picked the day. So I have exactly what happened on that day and those times.
oh, okay.
Just as an example, if you'd like.
Yeah. This is the day that you were testing it out.
No,
No,
this is just, I just picked a random day.
oh, a random date.
Yep.
Okay.
So if we take the 7 o'clock, and we have to look at eastbounds, okay? Because that's where most of this stuff is coming from,
East,
going east.
mhm.
So we'll just take the 7 o'clock school hour, the busy hour.
Okay.
On this particular day,
What day was it? Was it Monday, Friday, Wednesday? That makes a difference too.
last Monday, February 12th.
Okay, Monday.
February 12th. So the eastbound bus at 7 o'clock did their first pickup at 7:01.
That's good.
They made it to Walmart at 8:07.
Oh. Is that where the person was going?
Yep, that's the person that had to be to work at 8 o'clock.
Okay, so you got picked up at 7:01
They were going to Walmart for work?
and
Yes.
Walmart at 8:07,
That particular bus. Now,
7:01.
How
So
many stops in between?
1, 2, 3, 21. Walmart was stop 26.
Ooh. Okay, so pick up at number one.
But now in the morning, there's only 2 buses that run, right?
Oh, there's 3.
Oh, there is 3, okay.
So that was just that particular morning.
Okay.
That's how that happened.
So what's the third bus doing? I know one's going from west to
The
east. and one's
third
going-
bus is picking up some people for work currently, and some people for kind-hearted. And it also picks up some other regular passengers that would normally be put on an eastbound bus, but that's very busy, so the third bus is picking them up also
Okay.
and taking them to their destinations. Some to restaurants, some to family members.
And what about the other bus?
The other bus is going the other direction.
And does that have as many pickups and stops?
On that particular hour,
Yeah.
no. On that particular hour, that particular day, that bus did its first pickup at 7:07,
Okay.
and it did its drop off at last drop off for that hour at 7:46.
How many rides were in that?
How many rides were in that one?
Or like the stops?
Mhm.
Because you said that the
There
Walmart was the
was-
26th stop
There
for the
was
first one.
12 stops on that one.
Okay.
And how about, do you have the third bus for that day?
The amount of stops.
The third bus on that day. First pickup was 7 o'clock. And in the 8 o'clock hour, the last drop, or in the 7 o'clock hour, the last drop off was 7:49.
Okay.
So the third bus would have the time to,
Wait, how many
more
stops?
time to accommodate than the eastbound bus would.
Like clearly the.
On
the
that day.
eastbound
And what?
bus
Eastbound
to
buses,
that.
yeah, it's, I
The
mean,
eastbound bus is pretty
Taking
much like
kids to
that.
the high
And
school?
If you look at, and if you look at the 8 o'clock hour, it's 8 o'clock.
the 7 o'clock
eastbound.
bus is taking kids to the high school, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you look at,
That's it.
let's see here, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock.
Since there's no Jefferson anymore, that westbound bus wouldn't have that.
Nope, but we're servicing the middle school, we're
school.
servicing Kate Goodrich, and we're servicing Trinity
Okay.
on the westbound bus.
Mm-hmm.
8 o'clock, so you go to the 8 o'clock east, was a light day. They started, the first pickup was a little after 8 and was out to Culver's by 8:40. Which was
How
a
many
little early.
stops?
Uh, 6?
And which bus was that?
That was the 8 o'clock eastbound.
Eastbound,
Eastbound, okay.
yeah.
I think it's clear that the true stressor of
So-
The true
system
stressor- the
is
true
that
stressor
7
is-
o'clock
as
Between
I-
east,
7 and 8.
7 east.
7, 8, and 9 o'clock eastbound are all
Mhm.
the real stressors, because you got everybody that's trying to get out to work,
Yeah.
trying to get to Walmart, trying to get to restaurant for breakfast.
Cool.
They are, and I mean, I'm not saying that we can't do this. We're already are moving people around, but there's also things like times. We can't drop certain places off until certain times. Schools, we can't drop off at Kate Goodrich until it's like 7:20. So at 7 o'clock, eastbound bus is picking up kids from 7 o'clock, and it gets to Kate Goodrich at like 7:25-ish. 7:26 at Kate Goodrich.
Okay, they're in the time zone.
So they're right when they can get there,
Mhm.
and then they have to continue on. The third bus is picking up, it's picking up the kind-hearted people, people for work, people going to breakfast, people going to their family members. It's picking up the transfers for Trinity Daycare. It's picking up the transfers from Parkside. So it's doing all of that already. I mean, we can put more people on that. You know, I mean, I would move some people. What?
You explained last time, but maybe touch on that again, why the school system isn't busing. I mean, there are stops within the city, why they're not taking a yellow bus.
Oh. They don't qualify.
They don't qualify for yellow busing.
They don't live.
sometimes.
They live too close to the school.
Is my understanding, right? I am
Right.
not familiar with the
They
Yeah.
school
I
board.
don't,
but-
yeah, I think if they live
But-
too close, I don't think you can take,
Yeah, you
if
have
you
to
live in the
live
city, you
within-
can't take a yellow bus.
Yeah.
I don't
There's
believe.
stops within the city.
I understand, but I believe that those are
It's distance is what it
distance
goes
from
by.
school.
Or they're
Yeah.
handicapped
Or
or
s- I would say
something
it's the
like that.
special education department.
Well,
The special education department.
Well, I used to ride, when I went to junior high, I would get picked up on Grand Avenue and State Street. And, because I was far enough away from junior high, which, when it was a long time ago, when it was where the high school is now. But if I had lived, say, on the other side of what's currently the middle school, I wouldn't have qualified. It couldn't have gotten a yellow bus. So that little bit of distance made the big difference. So that's still the way it, I don't know what the distance is now, but that
I
was.
know we have stops all over the city as far as we have numbered signs and everything else.
Mhm.
That's a school district thing,
Yeah.
and I can't speak knowledgeably about their practices.
I don't
Just
know.
asking if we're, I'm sure they're paying for it.
Like, some people
With
want
us
their,
versus going with them.
some people want their child to be picked up at their door, I know for sure. So they might even
That's-
take the,
Sometimes
Right.
that's the case.
the merry-go-round, even if they could take the yellow bus.
Mm-hmm.
Other than distance, we're kind of saying, because we live in Holland, or in closer, you're more important than somebody that lives out farther. And I understand it's a logistic thing, but taxpayer money is taxpayer money. That's what kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
I think most of us here agree that we need to widen our area.
Mhm.
Yep.
We just have to figure out how we can widen it, and not make somebody late for work or
Right.
school.
Yep.
And determine at what, I mean, when it's gonna be busy. If it's not during the busy times, I can't see that this is an issue.
Right.
It's just
No, there's
between
there's
that
times that it
7
won't
and
be.
9, right? Ooh, but.
There's times that it won't be, but
Yeah.
if you're opening up, you know, I mean, if you're saying, okay, we're gonna expand our service area, and to me, that means we're gonna expand our service area as
Yeah.
a citizen.
But we can put restrictions on
Right.
it as a commission.
We already do.
Right.
We already do with the 3 o'clock bus, correct?
Mhm.
I mean, at least a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
if you wanted to ride the 3 o'clock
Bring
bus,
that.
you had to be a
I
student.
say you
No.
can't.
Not anymore.
Never. Anybody can ride anytime. We're public transit.
Hmm.
So no restrictions.
We would tell
on-
people, we would tell people, you know you're gonna be on the bus with a bunch of screaming kids,
Yeah.
and it could be a longer than normal ride. And they make their choice to ride or
That's
not.
still a choice?
Did not-
Okay.
Still
I
a
didn't
choice.
think, I didn't think that anybody could ride the 3 o'clock bus.
No,
What's
it's
that?
open to
I
anybody.
didn't think anybody could ride the 3 o'clock bus
And
because of
about-
the
I
school
didn't either.
district.
No, we are public transit. Anybody can ride anytime.
And I think it was in 2018 when I needed to ride the merry-go-round, and I needed to be somewhere because I couldn't drive. they kind of told me, we're going to try to get you there by this time, but because you're just a rare rider, we're going to try.
Yep.
I always made it into my appointment, but I knew how busy it was because it was that after-school time.
Yeah.
I
It
think
was
we're just gonna have
crazy.
to tell passengers the same thing. And,
Do-
I think we should have.
Because we're public transit, you can't,
Yeah, I think we
Can't
should
limit
encourage
that.
people not to ride at 7 o'clock unless they absolutely have to, that there's no way in the world they can't, you know, especially eastbound.
people have
And we're-
medical appointments.
Right, but we
yeah.
all schedule.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I mean, medical appointments aren't usually at 8 o'clock in the morning,
Well,
at least not Marshfield Clinic, it's 9 usually or later, I think.
Yeah.
Unless
We have
it's
people
lab
that go out for
tests.
8 o'clock
We
appointments
get-
and stuff like that,
You,
so.
I think they can
I'm
rearrange
not
those, though.
I'm just I'm just telling you what the numbers are.
right.
Yeah.
And I have a question. How much in advance do you need to know someone needs a ride? If they want to ride, how much in advance do you need? A day, 24 hours?
At least an hour.
An hour.
An hour. You can-
Just an hour.
At least an hour.
Well, if I need it, okay, because if we're talking, we're going to try one of the new ones, and you find out the day before, we've got some pickups to do, then do you sit down and look at your schedule to decide which bus will go get them and how to fit it in? Or are you thinking of just, we're going to assign a bus to number one?
Well, generally it depends where they're going, where they're at.
Oh, where
It
they're
depends
going.
where they're at
Go.
and where they're going.
Yeah.
Because you have to go back to, back to the basic concept of how our system works.
Yeah.
Our system works with one bus starting over here, one bus starting over here, and picking people up and dropping them off as they go across town, with a third bus picking up the overflow.
Yep.
Okay, so you have to go back to the basic concept of how we work.
Wow,
So,
Because of the door-to-door thing,
because,
right?
yep.
okay.
So
Which
you
I
So you
understand.
go back to the basic concept of how it works, and that's how you determine which bus it's gonna go on. Now,
Okay.
we do it all the time. We know that the 7 o'clock bus is very busy with kids, and that's why I put people going to family members or going to the restaurant on the 7 o'clock hour on the third bus.
Okay.
If they're going to Walmart to work, I will, thank you, I will generally keep it on the eastbound bus, and I can
Yeah.
do that because that bus goes
That-
almost all the way out there anyway. And it would get out there at the same time as the third bus, because the third bus has different time restrictions where it can drop people
Mhm.
off. So they would get there at the same time.
Right,
Oh,
so when
wow.
there's no school, middle of June, July,
Whew.
August, then.
There's
it's
no
on-
issues.
There's
Yep.
no problem,
Yep.
no problem.
For the trial period, why don't you try it between the hours of 9 and 3?
Sorry, Steve, could you speak?
For the trial period, just offer the extended service areas for the hours between 9 and 3.
All of them.
Right,
For just these here, our new ones? Yeah.
correct.
Do we want to keep all 5 in?
Or do we want to limit the Rio Grande?
Yes.
Limit that?
Yeah.
I would,
Because I,
Gentleman
it-
sitting here,
Hmm?
his whole issue is the 3 o'clock hour.
3 o'clock?
right, but you'd be done by 3. If, you know, you're only going to do it from 9 to 3. You're not going to pick them up at 3.
Early
And-
pickup.
Yes.
I understand that, but I'm saying his case is.
Does that fit
His
you?
case is a student.
Sorry.
I don't think it's going to for long-term.
His
So what I'm
case is a
saying is
student.
my son's coming into adulthood, and we're doing a trial period ourselves, is getting him on this bus and
Yep.
getting him to places he needs to go to be independent.
Sure.
Going back to what Brad says, you know, it's public transit, anybody can ride at any time.
Right.
So to put restrictions on any of this, you're putting this on the rider. I think it goes back to the group to figure out a fair and equal way to get everybody to ride this bus.
So really, it's not going to be a school transportation, it's going to be a
A work.
work
It could be
transportation.
It could be him
So it's
going
not
out to the,
gonna-
get socialized, it could be him going to the store, it could be him going out for lunch.
Hmm.
If you're talking about 3 minutes a stop, if you pick up 3 extra people at 3 different locations, that's the same as 9 minutes, 10 minutes to run out, you know, to there. So are you saying the number is more important than the one location or the one rider? I understand Brad has a tough job trying to organize all this, but at least give it a shot at
Yep.
all hours and see what the problems are. If they're Is there
I
becoming
mean, that
interest
would-
in people?
That's what we have to
I
do.
think
mean-
you're gonna see very little from us, because he's gonna ride maybe once a week to practice, you know, and it's probably gonna be, well, school's going on, it'll have to be after school probably, or during school. You know, because he works in a couple jobs at town during.
Does he go to the high school?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back to this particular day and see what that, and just see how it would fall in, on that, right? Let's see, where am I in 12, 2?
How are you giving preference to the people you are giving rides to? Do they have like a determination, you gotta call by this time during the day to get this ride when?
Well, people are refused them sometimes, like I've called,
The only time somebody would be really refused a ride is if we don't have capacity.
right,
And
But how do you
chances
get
are
that
that's a mobility device.
right.
Because we can only put so many mobility devices in our.
That's when I've been,
Then
yeah,
you
Other
say
than
you come
that-
get them the next stop?
We'll arrange with them whatever.
Whatever.
Works for them.
Yep.
Through our schedule. Other than that, we don't limit capacity.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we've had a lot of kids
Yep,
On that- on these buses.
standing.
But
Uh-huh.
then-
doing trips.
you may get the message back that we aren't gonna be able to get you there at the time you want.
Yeah,
That
should be
happens.
Kind of a given to everybody
Yeah.
that rides public transportation.
It does, yeah.
takes what it takes to get the job done.
Exactly.
Right, I mean, we're not
You know, you
We're
can't
not a
guarantee
fixed
you're
route.
gonna be
We're not
there.
fixed route, but we do have schedules.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so your schedule, so if you're running
So-
15 minutes late, that's kind of the problems with riding public transportation.
Everywhere.
You're gonna have to grin and bear it as a rider. That doesn't mean you should not give the service to.
Let's see, 3 o'clock to Washington, high school, right, high school was, on this particular day, high school was picked up at 3:25. They left there at,
I want to know the part-time driver, what they're gonna drive.
they left there at 3:27, picked up their 2 kids, and that would have gone up to drop off up on Delmore, and then that ended at 4:05. So that would have added,
Where did it end?
where did it end?
Yeah, 4:05.
In the 6th ward.
Just curious. Okay, over in Sixth Ward,
Yep.
okay. But it did go to Delmore? to
No,
drop-
if
oh,
it would have,
did.
if it
Yeah.
would have, so,
What-
well, that last stop, I'm sorry, the last stop was at 3:54.
Okay, so 3:27, then they dropped the kid off from school at home at 3:54?
Yep.
Okay, and then to go to Delmer from there?
So if you were to add Delmore in there,
Okay,
you'd add another 10 and a half, 11 and a half, add another 12 to 13
12
minutes.
minutes, okay, so
So then that
4:15.
would have been
4:15, yep.
4:10-ish, 4:10, 4:15
Mhm.
on that particular day, on this particular day.
Okay,
We pride ourselves in the
3:25.
1 hour turnaround, but we have.
It doesn't always happen.
Right.
Buses run late sometimes because we
Correct.
get too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And as you say, areas in the city are building up that had not been before, apartments, homes, and we're going to have to make this work. We're gonna have to try this
Mhm.
and somehow and make it work, and then come
Mhm.
back within 3 months and revisit it to see how it's going. And if we do it during the school year, plus then when we're in the summer, we can see how it's working.
If we have a big uptick in the number of people riding, we may have to come back to the whole city for permanent approval of another full-time driver, because that many people want to ride.
and the
Well,
bus as well, right?
Yeah.
We have
But we have
4
two.
full-time
That's,
And a
that's
bus.
why we
in
may
our
have to do.
budget,
We'd have to
right?
Add a bus.
Yeah,
We have 4 full-time drivers in the budget.
3. Oh, in the
No,
budget,
in
yeah,
the
but that,
budget. In the
that
It
was,
was budgeted for 4, but that is eliminating
yeah, eliminating part-time,
Part-time.
part-time drivers.
yeah,
Okay.
which wouldn't solve this problem at all.
So, yeah, it wouldn't,
Okay.
wouldn't, solve- you're both right.
Okay.
So the part-time driver that you're looking to hire is going to take over the third bus in the morning where the full-time driver is currently driving? Or what would the part-time driver that you're looking to hire?
Depending upon what their availability is, would
Yeah.
either be in the morning or in the afternoon.
Okay, for the full-time driver that's driving
The opposite of
morning
that.
through the full day, right?
Okay.
Are they still doing it that way? Where one full-time driver each week
Yes.
drives
Drives.
the extra hours
Right.
to offset? Okay,
Right.
okay. That's what I was just trying to.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve, I think we're looking at 4 out of the 5. Looking at, that's for the trial period.
Mhm.
I think we had
Let's
a
do 1 through 4.
1 through 4. I think we have
I
to.
do 1 through 4, but if you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. fine.
Well, I think 3 is
It's the short-
the least of the
Least
stressors on it.
intrusive.
You might never get a call for that either, so, but that's not a very big bump.
Okay.
So I'll make that motion.
Okay, you gonna make that motion?
Make a motion to have a trial period.
A trial period.
Expanding our service area to include Grand Drive, Crescent Drive, Rockridge Apartments, Hillside Church, and Nicholas Drive, Delmore Drive, Ellen Court.
You gonna do it for a certain time frame? 6
Uh,
months would put you through August, which would.
6 months would take us through the summer.
Can you do
So we'd get the rest of the school year, and I think the rest of the school year would be
Say
important. but
March 1
We need
through
a
August
second.
31?
We
Yeah,
need a
How
second.
much time do you? Oh,
I'll
are you-
second it.
Okay, second, and now discussion.
Now discussion,
Yeah.
okay.
So March.
Well, we don't
1
have
through-
dates yet. We're gonna discuss that.
Yeah,
We're just
So-
doing a motion to give it a trial period
For
for
6
1,
months.
2,
6
3,
months.
and 4.
For 6 months. Right.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
And then we'll talk about the start date
So
now.
we're going from, I guess we could start that next week.
Which is March 1st already,
Yeah,
it's the
is
end
it
of next
already?
week.
Holy cow.
I
The
think.
end of.
The end of.
I think it's a
26th of
Saturday,
February.
though. March 1st is
And then
a
you-
Saturday.
No, March 1st is a Friday, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's a Friday.
Oh, it is a Friday, that's
Yeah.
right, because it's, okay,
So I would
29
just start
first.
at March 1st and
March.
run through August. That
Is that
would be
okay
your
with
6
everybody?
months.
We'll- Okay, so we'll amend the motion to include,
March 1.
starting
August
March
31.
4th,
30,
that would
right?
start.
March, you go
March
to the
1st.
beginning of the month, even if it's on Saturday.
Yeah.
We don't run on a Saturday,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we started the program.
So it'd be
Okay,
March
March
1st.
Yes.
sounds good.
through
August.
September. It would be.
August 31.
March, April, May, June, July.
Through September?
August, Through September, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
September 30.
That would be 7 months
Uh,
then.
I mean,
I guess what I-
because it's a commission, we
Right?
can
March,
alter this
April, May,
at any
June,
time.
July, August, September.
First.
That'd be 7
September
months.
1st?
7 months.
It
Yeah.
should be
So August
August
31st.
31st. That would be 6 months.
August.
You gotta count March.
Oh, that's what I
March,
said
I did,
originally.
yeah,
Yes.
March,
June,
April,
July,
May, June,
August.
July, August, okay,
And then we'll just have to problem solve as we go.
yep.
Mm.
That's the
We'll
truth.
see how it goes.
But then how do we let people know?
Oh, Brad's gonna be on the radio.
That's
So
right.
when are you
And
gonna be
we've
on the
got-
radio?
I am working.
You should try to get on this week, if you can. I don't know, Lonnie's probably pretty full, but
I'm working with them. I called him and he said to send him an email. And I sent him an email, so he has something ready, and he's supposed to respond to me with when we can do it. Now, my email to him was for quarterly, second Monday of the month, starting with March, which would have been March 11th or something like
March
that.
11th,
Okay.
yeah.
But we have the Facebook page, we have the
Yep.
city,
I do.
you know.
We can get notices on the
We
radio.
can put an ad in the paper.
Yep.
That'd be great.
Do you think maybe during the trial period, you should be on more than quarterly for now, since we are changing this,
Mhm.
to get the word out?
Well, March.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So we'd be on in March
Being-
11th.
March, June, July.
Yeah.
Then you wouldn't be
Well,
on
You
again
could-
until.
You could
know.
also,
Yeah, but
you could probably squeeze yourself in
The
with the
second
marketing
Monday.
group.
But yeah, our city has a
There is no
marketing
marketing.
group.
Yeah.
We should contact them and let them
I think
decide.
I think the marketing, yeah,
The mar-
it's,
Yep,
we should let the marketing group know, the
Correct.
marketing people that do this.
they can
We
just
got
take
their
it.
we've got Facebook, you know,
Mayor.
the city Facebook, we have our own page, the transit page.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's running today.
So Rod, when are you on the radio next?
When are you on the radio?
Every other Thursday,
Oh, every other Thursday.
When's the first time that,
Sunday at 4.
when is the next time after today?
He hasn't been on.
Yeah, because that's a marketing specialty, isn't it, to
Yep.
figure out what
Yep.
what
But
news
Steve
like
said
this?
he's on.
I'm on the Monday before the second Tuesday.
But you know, also.
So he was just on, I watched
You
it,
don't,
yeah.
you don't even have to be on the, they have these updates that
They
they
do,
have,
yeah.
you know, community updates.
Talk of the town.
Just,
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
He will just announce it.
Yep.
A new, you know, the transit wants to announce that we have this.
Change their boundaries.
Correct. Just email them something, and that's
Mhm.
fine until you are on the radio.
And then we'll.
Yeah, they have every morning, they have Talk of the Town where they go through
Yeah.
announcements from
I
different
do a
places.
YouTube Video, and I'll put it on there.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
And do we need to mention it's a trial period?
I would definitely
Yep.
mention it's a
Right.
trial
Gotta be
period.
a trial
Yep,
period.
trial
That-
period. Okay. Any other discussion on the motion? We'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
One thing I would like a report maybe 2 to 3 months in, just to see
Yep.
how things are going, or a
You'll
monthly
probably
re-
tell us every
you know,
month.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
And
just-
how many
report.
calls you're getting for that area.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
just keep
And
track
just-
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Temporarily
Take marks
during our,
on.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Because
this
that'll
was
be
really
really important
interesting.
to know,
Yes.
Correct.
and where they're coming from, who's interested.
And where they're
Yeah.
going.
And where
Okay.
they're going.
Okay, that's probably it for the service area then. Future agenda items. Anything other than the service area, which I think will be a monthly update?
Yeah, that,
I can just put that into those numbers into the administrator's report
Okay.
for the next 6
Okay.
months.
okay.
That'd be
Thank you.
great. Thank you.
Any other future agenda items? Okay. Then the next meeting date is March 18th, 2024 at 4 PM. Meeting will be held at City Hall and Council Chambers. Now I'll entertain a motion
I'll make a
for
motion to
adjournment.
adjourn.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. We don't usually get a lot.